What do we know, everybody? Guess who came to work with Dad? You say hi? You ready to go feed Moose? Driving? What do you think you gotta use that? You gotta make the bucket go up and down? You think? Hey, Lee. I see. I told you Mama wouldn't work. I told her. No. Alright, you ready to feed Moose? Alright, ready to make us go forward? Vroom vroom. Yeah, you driving? You driving? Alright, here. Let's make it go up. Alright. Back up. Say beep beep. Say beep beep. Yeah, isn't that cool? There you go. You drive? Alright. Now make it go forward. Good job. You tell Mama you feeding Moose? What you got, Mr. Chunk? Another butter cracker. Good stuff. We'll play. So yeah, if anybody is wondering why I got chunked today, well, little man was a little sick. Yeah, right. So little man was a little sick, and daycare that my wife works at, she told them, and she was going to stay home, take care of the boy, and they really didn't care. Told her she had to get her butt to work. So I took chunk, because you can't just leave a little 1-year-old sitting at your house all alone, especially when they're sick. So we fed cattle this morning, fed 2 rations. He loves the moose, loves looking out the window, loves playing in the loader, loves making it go forward and back, loves playing with the blinker in the feed truck. So, doesn't go that bad. A little bit awkward getting him up in the loader, but he does real good. And then we got bearings for the roast talker. Good boy. So got bearings for the roast stalker. Then went and got oil in the filter for the pickup because I had to get that changed here sometime. And now we are just hanging out at home while he's eating peanut butter crackers and he was watching cartoons. Now he's playing with his toys. And once Mama gets back, between 1:30 and 2-ish, I guess, then I will go to work and try to beat some bearings out of the roast stalker. And then I also have to move a little bit of snow that we had left over from last week, so it'll keep melting. And got to feed cattle one more time. So, kind of a wasted day, so to speak, as far as getting stuff done at work, but more fun to play with this guy anyway. So, what do we know, guys? My lovely wife came back, got off work, Little man's upstairs taking a nap, so I come back to work, knocked over a little snow mountain that we got behind the pens. Fed the cattle the last ration. I should be working on the row stocker bearings back there, but I'll do that tomorrow. I wanted to get all that stuff done, get all the new stuff put on it this week, but I mean, we're a month out from using it, so whatever. But I'm going to take this time and I'm going to rant a little bit. So if you stick around, maybe you agree, maybe you disagree, we can discuss it. But I told you guys the reason that I had my boy today. And I'm assuming why they told my wife she had to come in even though our son was sick was because they were probably short-staffed. I get it. But I'm not happy about it. When you're sick, you want to stay at home. You want to call into work, you want to stay at home, sit in your bed, drink your fluids, sleep, try to get better. That boy can't do that when he's taken to daycare, and not only can he not do that, my wife has got to deal with the screaming boy all the way there and all the way back. They got to deal with the screaming boy there that doesn't feel good, and then chances are the other kids are going to get sick. That's not good. It's not a good practice, in my opinion. But that brought me to this. I see all over social media, and I hear people talk about it. Nobody wants to work anymore. And that is partially true. I had a guy that I was training when I was pulling bull rack. His idea of being a truck driver was driving until he got tired and then sitting up in his sleeper watching videos on his iPad. And in his case, that turned out to be about 150, 200 miles. It doesn't work like that. I've had people, when I was a butcher that I'd train, that would show up with credentials, whatever, that just didn't want to work, didn't want to learn, didn't want to listen. And I had other guys that come off the street that looked pretty rough that turned out to be really, really good because they wanted to do the work and they were happy and they wanted to learn. But I'm going to tell you what I think this is more about. Because the people are finally getting fed up with working for non-living wages. We've all heard that deal that wages have not risen to the heights of inflation, or however they say that. That's never going to change. The powers that be won't let it change. That's just how it is. The days like what your grandpa had, able to work in a bank, support a family of 5, and buy a brand new house and a really nice car on a banker's salary, that's gone. That's not going to happen. You know, guys that could support their family while working at a grocery store, it's done. It's just the way it is. Inflation has something to do with that, and the other has to do with the employer. I'll explain. I'm qualified to do a multitude of different things. I mean, I went to Wyotech and learned my Wyoming, got every ICAR certification under the sun. I can weld like a son of a gun with a MIG welder, with the TIG welder, with the gas welder. I can do it. I'm good at it. I could be a great body man. Butcher is the favorite thing that I've done my entire adult life as far as work is concerned. I loved being a butcher. I'd love to go do it again, whether for myself or whenever I find an offer I can't refuse. That's just the way it is. Now, I always look for the next opportunity. I think it's foolish not to. So I download your little different job apps that people post who are hiring for this, and this. And I found a few different things and a few things that bother me. One, if you're not going to post your salary on that thing, I'm not interested. If you're not going to post what your wage is, that means you're going to try to screw me when I come in for an interview. That's the way it works. I mean, we all know that. We've been through that. We're not stupid. But here's what really, really bothers me. Skilled positions or highly laborious positions pay very, very poorly. I'll explain. 5 years experience as a body man The top wage that I found was $13 an hour. Butcher with 5 to 10 years experience. Top wage was $15 an hour, was more common anywhere from 10 to 12. Daycare worker was generally anywhere from 9, topping out at 12. Daycare workers. If I was going to hire a daycare worker, you know what I'd want? Someone that was kind, loving, patient, compassionate, and someone that is good with children. Are you going to find somebody that is going to be all those things and work for a low wage? You're not. So you end up with people that you really wouldn't want watching your children anyway, watching your children. People that are mean to these children, people that don't care. People that don't keep their water cups full. It's ridiculous. Body man. You want someone to go pay $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 for school and to work for a low wage where they're not going to be able to afford their student loan payments, let alone get a house or an apartment? That's not good. You're going to force off all your guys to know what they're doing. Now there are body shops out there that once that you can get into, they'll pay you commission, you can do your thing, you can do good. But I know a lot of places like that still end up making it work out in their favor versus the employee's favor. Butcher. There are some butchers I know that'll pay better than that. But for the most part, I know they're pretty low paying. Which I didn't understand really because it's a lot of manual labor, a lot of back-breaking work from the slaughter floor, breakdown floor, all the way to wrapping. They want a guy that's skilled, can know what they're doing, know how to use a knife, know the cuts, know how to do different things, but they don't want to pay for that knowledge. Now I get it. I get it. Inflation. Cost of everything has gone up. Cost of utilities has gone up. You got to be able to make your payments and do this, that, and the other. But I know there are guys out there that are really, really well off, and they're well off because the employees bust their tail. Employees that see their bosses running around in nice vehicles, taking extravagant vacations, eating the best food, driving the best vehicles, living in the nicest house. Seeing those bosses that are never there, the bosses that aren't kind to them, and they're getting paid a low wage. Now, I agree that if you're an owner of a business and you busted your tail, put your blood, sweat, and tears into that business, that you should be able to live a good lifestyle. You've earned it. But your employees also deserve to get paid a good wage, a living wage. They deserve to get treated well and with respect. I can't leave the job that I'm at to go be a butcher for what they're paying. They're paying a low wage, very few benefits. Same as a body man. Ranch hand. Ranching would suit me a whole lot better than being a farm hand. But you know what? The best ranching offer that I had, to go be a cowboy, ride fence lines, calve cattle out in the pasture, do whatever. Best offer I had was $1,000 less a month on straight salary than I'm getting paid here. Other ranch hand jobs that I found, and even other farm hand jobs that I found, pay me less than what I'm making here. I've had farming operations call me and talk to me, and they offer, their big sticking point is, okay, we run really late model equipment with this, and we run this, and it's all real good. But you know what they want you for? They want you to sit in that seat during planting, sit in that seat during harvest, and the rest of the year, you're a handyman, kind of like what I am here. I'm real good at turning wrenches, fixing things, repairing things, building things. Well, I'm not going to work as a mechanic 3/4 of the year for $12 to $15 an hour. I'm not going to do that. I get paid more than that here. I don't get paid a mechanic wage, like a diesel mechanic wage, but I still get paid better than that. You see, I don't think that people aren't working at these places, and I don't think these places are short-staffed because they don't want to work. I don't think these places that had their quality run downhill because their good guys are gone, I don't think that's because they don't want to work. I think that's because they get tired of working their tails off for nothing. Treated horribly, paid horribly, they don't want to deal with it. And they can leave that backbreaking work for a low wage, minimal benefits, and go work at a manufacturing plant for a higher wage, much better benefits, and they don't have to get complained at when they want to take time off as long as they follow the company protocol. So if you're going to tell me that you get a year off, or you get a week off after working for a year, your vacation, but then you're going to dictate when I can take that vacation, I don't like that. Because I want to be able to plan something out, do something in a nice time of year that I'm going to enjoy. But you're going to tell me I can't take off over Christmas, I can't take off over any of the holidays, I can't take off over the blizzard season, I can't take off during planting, I can't take off during irrigating season, so pretty much all summer. I can't take off during harvest. So I'm left with about a week that I can take off. But that don't set well, does it? It's understandable on both ends. You got things to do, but on the other end, there are things you can handle yourself. I get planting, harvest, but you can irrigate. You can push snow. You can do these things. Same thing with the daycare. Child is sick. You can't tell them they still have to come in when the child's got nowhere to go. That's not fair to that child. It's not fair to the parents. It's not fair to the other children, the other children's parents. It's not fair to anybody. It's not. An employer that does all these nice things for themselves and then wants to deny time off requests for his employees because it inconveniences him or her. That's not right. That's not the way this should work. The employees are the ones that carry the company. They're the ones that make these companies the money. And to not pay them a livable wage, to not treat them with respect, to not allow their time off for them to recuperate or to enjoy stuff with family, that's ridiculous. To tell them they can't go to a funeral, and I actually had this happen to me. My great-grandmother passed away, and I was told that I couldn't go to the funeral because she wasn't immediate family. Those kind of things don't fly. There are plenty of other companies out there that are looking for help. You got to treat your employees fairly. You got to treat them with respect. There's always going to be somebody out there that pays better benefits or whatever, but make your employees not want to leave. If they're going to do quality work, skilled work, and they're going to ride for the brand, why not pay them better? If you want somebody with experience, why do you not give them a wage that appreciates that experience? You want me to come in with 5-10 years experience, but you want to pay me the wage of somebody just coming out of high school? I'm not going to do that. It's not going to work. There are plenty of other jobs out there. People are leaving skilled jobs to go work at places like manufacturing plants because of the pay and the benefits. It's less of a hassle. It's not as fun, it's not as enjoyable, it's not as fulfilling, but you know what? Decision's pretty easy when you can't pay your bills. Just the same, and I don't know if I covered this or not. Daycare my wife works at, my son is there the same amount of time as she is, and they charge more for him being there than they pay her. That don't seem like it's fair, don't seem like it works out now, does it? I don't know. I'm mad. I was mad this morning. It don't make any sense to me. I just can't understand it. I see people all over Facebook that are posting in these butcher groups that they just complain they can't find anybody, and there's butcher shops barely squeaking by. They can't afford to pay anybody a good wage. And there's other butcher shops where these guys are really, really well off for themselves. They don't have to be on the kill floor anymore. They don't have to be doing the backbreaking work, but they don't want to pay anybody. They don't want to give you the wage that you deserve to say, hey, I'm glad you have that experience. Hey, I'm glad you're good at what you do. You can't do that. You can't pay a low wage and then wonder why nobody wants to work for you. And just the same, you cannot be an asshole and wonder why people won't sit there and put up with your mess. It don't work. I'm not going to do it. It just don't work like that. That's my 2 cents on it. I don't think it's a case of people not wanting to work. I think it's a case of people that know they deserve more money. They know they have to survive. And they're going to work accordingly. Just the same, when I was working for Mike and Teresa as a butcher, I didn't get paid all that much because they couldn't afford to pay me anymore. But I was treated very, very well. And when the California couple came in and took everything over, my quality was still there because that was my reputation. My customers came in and they would talk to me and me alone. And I did what I did for the customers. But you know what? I would do what I had to do and I wouldn't go above and beyond for those people. Not speaking to the customers, I'm talking about the California people, the owners. I stopped doing all the extra stuff that I was doing before because I was treated so poorly by them. And, well, my hours got cut, pay got slashed, and it was what it was. The rest is history. I went on to pursue other options because I just couldn't deal with it anymore. But, oh well. It is what it is. It can make me mad. Don't mean it's ever going to change. I don't really understand that. You know, they always talk about not biting the hand that feeds you, and I mean, these businesses are more willing to pay somebody the bare minimum that will be willing to work for it, to do horrible work, just to have a body on the floor. They would be more willing to do that than pay somebody that knows what they're doing and knows how to do it well a better wage. But on the flip side of that, you work your tail off, prove you're good for the company. A lot of times you're not met with a raise or a good job or anything like that, bonus. You're met with more work. So what do? I really don't know. But anyway, guys, I've rambled on for long enough. I think I'm going to cut this off here. I'm just going to head home. We'll probably go get some groceries or something like that and call it a day. So I hope you guys stuck around to the end. Whether you agree with this or not, I don't know. Let me know. But as always, I thank you all for watching.